What's going on, guys? It is your boy, and we are here watching the seasonals, but that's not why I'm doing this video. First of all, if you guys are enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I am late to the party. Why? Because I actually work a full-time job. So if you guys have ever wondered sometimes why I drop one video, two video, this video, that video, or don't drop a video at all, it's because I do work. But I would love to do, I would love to do this full time, baby. So definitely like, comment, subscribe. I would appreciate that. So let us go into the depths of all these new cards. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this is for this thing's. What is when I click full art? I never did it off mastering Runeterra, so I'm interested to see how this works. They got pretty good stuff here. So we have Camoflaged Horror. It is another evolve card, a 7-drop evolve card with Fearsome. And evolve, play, I strike an enemy. So evolve, if I'm not mistaken. It'd be cool if I could like click on these and it like works. That'd be cool. But if I remember, it's just +2/+2, or is it +3/+3? Anywho, pretty much it plays a like a single combat, but it's not. It's literally just single. It's literally just single. Oh, you poor thing. You poor thing. I like it, honestly. I remember, I think Lurk has a very similar one. Is the one that like make all the lurkers in the building attack something random. But this one, you get to control, and it's a skill. So I'm like, oh yeah, Jin support. So every time. But let's say if I didn't want to chuck this in my Jin deck, right? 7-drop that actually has a 5. Even if evolve is not active, right? It's still a strike that is 5 attack to something that I choose. So pretty good. I think this is a solid unit. I think that will it be an evolve deck? Probably not, but I think that I have to, you know what, that's what I want to make. I want to make a Kaiser deck, some new Kaiser, baby. He's got going on, but I do like this card. I think that in the Kaiser deck, I do think that you maybe run one of these just because it's a nice trade. It's a body, a decent body. I think if it's +3/+3, I can't remember of all. Oh my God, do I have to open up? I'm not gonna open up. I don't. Not yet. I don't want to open up yet. I'm not in that spicy territory yet. But I do think that this card is a pretty cool card. Next up is gonna be Curse of the Tomb. Predict, 2-mana predict for Shurima. So oh my God, Echo can level so quickly now. So much predict coming in, especially with the Zillion Chains. Predict, give a unit I take double damage, and if I would die, obliterate me instead this round. So this card is kind of like a free obliterate, right? So if you're trying to destroy someone's last breath effect, if you're trying to destroy, and it's a unit, so I can use it on an actual champion as well. If I don't want to, if I'm fighting like Shadow Isles and I feel that they're gonna reverse something. Thank you. I'm happy I have no viruses. But I feel like that's the only good thing about a card like this. But outside of the fact, I guess it's a free predict, and if it dies, but oh yeah, sorry, this part is actually pretty good. I take double damage is pretty good. It's almost like this is a burst speed, almost like a disintegrate almost, because take double damage is actually like if from attacks, I'm assuming it's from spells, skills. So, and it's for the entirety of the round. So it's like you can pre-commit this, and it has some floating pressure too. Like if you just put that on a unit and then maybe they don't do anything with it. Maybe if there's a reason you don't want them to attack with it for some reason. I don't know. I think it's an okay card, but I think you still throw it mostly if you're trying to utilize more predicts than anything. But I do like the double damage aspect of it. That's pretty cool. Next up is going to be Avatar of Blood. Another Shurima card. When you slay a unit, reduce the cost of the next darkened unit you play by 1. Now that is extremely good. The reason why that's kind of nuts. Literally just because of the fact that it is a 2-mana landmark and it reduces a darkened unit. Now the only thing that I have it's kind of weirdly worded is that it's darkened units are mostly like just the spell, the equipment, and then I guess if you were to use that, then you get to reduce it. With enough slays, and definitely I'm thinking Shadow Isles, you could potentially, especially slay a unit, it doesn't actually say enemy or ally, you could reduce the cost of a darken and get them out really early. I'm definitely looking for this card. I mean, that was with Shadow Isles, but maybe potentially my ramp darken stuff will be working. But it says a darkened unit though. Like even luckily I can scroll down here. I can go down to possible. No, this is a darkened. So maybe they could still. It's weird when it says darkened unit, because it almost makes me think like, can I take the darkened harpoon, and if I do enough slays, can I then play Ouroboros for less than 9 mana? Is that what it's saying? Or is it like, because a darkened unit, the only darkened unit I think there are the actual like champions, right? This would be a darkened unit. So unless they create more darkened units that aren't equipments first, I think that's how that works. So if I were to utilize that card, I feel like it's actually not that great at that point unless they make a big one. And obviously Avatar of Blood, I think this is kind of like a Aatrox card, which I do think that he'll be revealed relatively soon. The expansion drops, I think, on the 12th, right? So Aatrox should be coming in a couple days. And I also think that that's why they're dropping, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4 Shurima cards. That's screaming Aatrox to me. This is definitely, to me, talking about Aatrox, and Aatrox likely is a big card. He should be a like a 6-drop or some big thing like that. So slaying some units, and then you can play a early Aatrox, and it doesn't say, like I said, it doesn't reset per round or anything like that. So if Aatrox is a big unit and you want to do this and then possibly play other ones and things like that nature, I think is good. And he actually might be the first Darkin, because Kayn and Varus are like Runeterra, but he might be a Shurima, which is what it's telling me here. So maybe we'll do our first prediction video of what we think Aatrox will be. Next up is going to be the Swinging Glaive, I think that's how it is. And this is a 3 mana, 2/1, and make a lucky find in hand. Action! This is a action card as hell. You strike as well, so it's a lot of them have been attacked recently, but the strike makes this phenomenal. And Lucky Find, if I'm not mistaken, is like the 0 mana thing. So this is amazing. This is so good, so good of a card. I don't even need to speak on it as much. I feel like you can slap this in any Shurima deck literally, and I think it just works out. Next up looks like a Gwen card, Opulent Foyer, another landmark. Landmark, baby. When I'm summoned or when you gain the attack token, summon a Ghastly Band. Now, this actually, funny enough, is making me think of like Nora. A really strong Nora Gwen thing, but you actually don't even need a Gwen outside of the fact that when you gain the attack token, which is still weird because the Infinite, I think, is still in the deck. Sorry, still in the game with Gwen's kind of package, and now every time you gain the attack token, you'll be summoning another unit that's going to make the attacker to the left stronger. Very interesting. Very interesting, Runeterra, to drop a card while there's an infinite combo in the game. But then again, I think even in this thing, right, that people are still using Akshan Infinite. I don't think it's banned or anything like that. So I guess maybe they think that certain infinites are avoidable, especially amongst competitive players that understand how the game works. So the point that they probably don't need to ban out an infinite, like the players can play around it, I guess. But this is still interesting even without that. Like, you pretty much always have a blocker, not a blocker, right? Or when I'm summoned, but every time you have an attack token, you have an additional unit that's going to die. You could also utilize that, I think, in some other archetypes, like possibly Navigate Collector kind of thing, like a ping deck or something of that nature. I like this card a lot, actually, and it gives you a free unit. I think even Viego can run a one off of this, but I feel like certain decks like that already have too many cards that are already committed to certain slots, right? So where do you switch something else and put this in, right? I guess that would be the question. Next up is going to be Wraith of Echoes. Round end, for each ally that died this round, grant all ally copies of it everywhere +1/+1. That is also a kind of like a Gwen card. But for each ally that died this round, grant all ally copies of it everywhere +1/+1. My first initial thought, and please forgive me, actually funny enough would be like Husk. Will be Husk. I wanted to see, it would be funny to have Husk gain like stacking stacks. So if you see the same Husk over and over again, you would love it, right? But it's a 6-drop, so what are you looking to spam die that you're kind of like, that's almost as if it's actually like a super rampy way to ramp up yeah, all allied copies of it. That's actually a cool way to ramp up Undying, actually, funny enough, because every time an Undying dies, it respawns itself, and then on top of that, it comes back at +1/+1, and I feel like it's for each ally that died. It's for each, actually it does multiple units at a time. For each ally that died, grant ally copies of it. So this is even giving archetype, this is actually giving Oh god, it's giving summer. It's actually really giving me the vibes of like Shark Chariot, stuff like that too. Anything like even like a sapling or something of that nature, like something a free summonable unit. Yes, it does obviously synchronize with something like the Opulent Foyer, but I feel like there's a lot more. That this is a very flexible card that you can definitely see some deck building. These are the cards that I like more than just strictly RNG. And then last night I saw Moonlit the nighttime, but last card is going to be another Shadow Isles card, Moonlit Glenkeeper, which is fearsome. When you summon an inferior ally, grant it +1. Nightfall, summon a sapling. So yeah, if they can give things that give more sapling support and like that, like you have these saplings from this card that are just start to get buff and buff and buff and buff. This card is definitely going to make some weird 1 cost, 0 cost, some spammable unit. You just keep playing it over and over and over and over and over again. And when you keep playing over and over and over again, that card just gets stupidly stronger. And actually, I have an idea that I could actually utilize this in a really funny deck. But I'll save that for another time. I got a really fun Halloween deck. Oh, that's all I'm saying. I've been saying this for a couple days now, but you guys are, there's nobody, it's never, actually I don't know if it's never been done. And the more cards that I see from Shadow Isles, obviously it's a Halloween deck, it's Shadow Isles, so any Shadow Isles card, I'm always on the prowl to make my Halloween deck even better every time. So what do you guys think about these reveals? I definitely think the Avatar of Blood definitely talks, to me automatically makes me think that the next reveal is going to be Aatrox. Giving a unit that takes double damage and it obliterates also makes me think of something like that. Swinging Glaive, I guess, but I think Aatrox is in here, slaying units, and then you're gonna just run in with Kindred. Not only am I predicting the champion, I'm also predicting the deck right off the bat, but it does make sense, right? Actually, if you guys aren't aware, every time Aatrox gets a kill in his ultimate, he extends it, so that kind of makes sense with like Slay. He keeps killing things, everything is better, yada yada. Anywho, that's gonna be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.